mixing up some violet using ultramarine and permanent rose. You could use alizarin crimson and a little bit of cobalt blue. This is some Prussian blue here and lemon yellow to make a really sort of bright green. So make sure you mix up plenty of paint, especially if you're painting a large area. So I'm mixing up a little bit of cadmium yellow as well here. So I'm using a large brush and I am wetting the paper with clean water, giving the paper a really good soak. I'm using 300 grams rough watercolour paper, and the brown tape that you see is framing tape. It's a little bit like masking tape. So when I remove it after I finish my paint, it'll give me a lovely white border. So I'm painting this violet wash wet into wet, leaving gaps. If you notice, I paint smaller marks in the distance as well. That creates a little bit of depth. And I'm painting the green in between the gaps. Try not to touch the violet as best you can. I know it can be tricky. And if it helps, use a smaller brush. So I'm adding a little bit of that yellow wash into the green there, just to create some lighter greens as well, wet into wet. I'm now going to paint some of that yellow, which is actually turned in a yellow green there at the top, down to the sort of horizon line, trying not to touch that violet paint. So a very light yellow green, and tilt your painting. I've got so much water there. Look at all that water just flowing off. So just collect the puddle at the end with a tissue. I'm adding more sort of violet now, painting damp into damp. So the paint is slightly thicker, so it doesn't run as much. So it stays put a little bit more, but has still got a soft edge. And to help you with this damp into damp, wipe your paint or let your paint rest on some paper towel just to take the excess off and then paint. And once you do that, do a little bit of tilting just to get the colours to mix on the paper. Sometimes when you mix them in the palette, they get muddy. So this way you'll get them blending and mixing without too much muddiness. I'm just adding a little bit more green at the top there, using a sort of medium-sized brush. You can use a size 8 or 10, and it's just for the foliage, and it's pretty much damp into damp there. I'm adding a little bit more of that Prussian blue mix with the lemon yellow here and there as well, trying to keep a lot of light in the centre of that foliage. And now I'm sprinkling table salt onto the damp surface, and I'm going to allow it to dry naturally. I'm going to use a plastic store card cut up, and I'm going to swipe off the damp paint. So if the paint runs back in on itself, it's too wet. So wait a couple more minutes, depending on how warm your room is. So I'm swiping up sort of larger tree trunks and smaller skinny ones in the distance to create some depth in my painting. It's a really nice technique. Do practice it before you do it on your painting, just to build up confidence if you haven't used this technique before. So I'm just using the corner of the card there just to pull out some smaller trees in the distance. And I'm going to allow my painting to dry naturally. As you can see, the salt worked really well. I'm so pleased with it. And I've got some lovely light sort of textures as well on my trees. So I'm going to mix up some colours for the tree trunks using ultramarine and light red. You can use burnt sienna instead. So the first wash is going to have more light red, and the second wash will have more ultramarine. So I'm just varying my darks here, and it's quite a milky consistency. I'm wetting the tree trunks with clean water. Do this one at a time. And the brush is about a size 6, so use a smallish brush and drop in the dark light red wash with a touch of ultramarine first on the right hand side, wet into wet, and then the ultramarine and light red wash, which is a bit darker, and that's pretty much damp into damp. And use a twig to scratch out the colour to create texture, and maybe some little branches as well, pulling out that paint. Now the twig is from the garden, and I've sharpened it with a pencil sharpener, and I'm just creating textures and marks. I'm going to repeat this process, wetting the tree trunk and just applying the sort of light red wash with the touch of ultramarine first, and then damp into damp, the ultramarine with the light red, the darker wash. And you might want to practice this on a rough piece of paper to begin with, so you get the hang of it. And it's a really nice technique, and it really does give the sort of illusion of silver birch trees, which is fun to do. And while your painting is damp, you can draw with the twig using really thick dark paint, even something like black or Paynes grey, and just make these dark marks, really have sort of fun with it. And what I love about it is you're using a twig to sort of paint trees, branches and twigs. Try to be as random as you can, and you can literally use the paint straight from the tube. If you don't have tube paint, give your watercolour pans a spray about half an hour before you use them with just ordinary water, and it just softens them up a little bit and you can get more paint out of them. And normally then I'll put my twig straight into the pan to get lots of paint, but it's very effective at creating textures, and I just love painting this way. Just using different things around the house or in the garden to paint pictures using watercolour, and I'm always trying to think of different things. If you've got any ideas of using sort of different items around the house or in your garden, please put those in the comments section below. I'd love to hear about them. So I'm using my twig to paint the very small branches here, and I've mixed up a wash of ultramarine and burnt sienna, quite a dark wash here, to paint those branches. I'm going to allow my painting to dry. I'm using some white gouache here. You can use white watercolour paint, or even a white pastel or oil pastel, and you can apply that to the left hand side. Make sure it's always consistent so the light's coming from the left there. It's great, especially if you've lost your light, but it also creates texture as well to these trees. So you can use a mixture of both to create light and texture, but it's a nice way of finishing off. And this is such a lovely sort of simple painting, you know, starting off with those washes, then the salt, and then lifting out the trees with the plastic card as well, letting it dry, and then painting in the darks of the tree, and then the little branches with the twig and the white to create light and texture. So I really hope you enjoyed that tutorial and all the yummy techniques. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching. Happy painting. Bye for now.